Hello everyone and welcome to July's community update. As always, I have with me our co-founders Daniel Friedman and Sam Lambert, and we're going to give you the updates for this month. The topics that we're going to cover, they're going to be around the development updates for our MVP Palmyra. We're gonna talk a little bit about our IDO that is coming up pretty soon. We're also going to talk about our tokenomics and the white paper that is coming up really soon as well. And lastly, we're going to touch on the 3 proposals that we have submitted on Project Catalyst for Fund 10. Let's get started. Sam and Dan, it's a pleasure talking to you again. How you guys doing?
Hey, Chef. Good to see you, and it's great to be able to give this month's update to the community.
Yeah, likewise.
Awesome, guys. Let's kick it off right away. Daniel, I will start with you. If you don't mind giving us an update in terms of our MVP Palmyra and where we're standing right now.
Sure. So things are chugging along. We are about 3/4 of the way done with the actual UI, UX coding. So we got the listings, registrations. We're actually about to start onboarding our Pioneer program. So something that one of the things that Chef himself have been a part of, and so that's very close. We're already talking to our potential users. Well, not potential, our pilot users, and buyers and sellers, and kind of starting the process of onboarding them into getting ready for the MVP when we flip the switch. On the side of the blockchain development side, we are also about halfway done with the Winter Protocol. We have the architecture fleshed out. We are right now working on smart contracts, various other aspects like the Explorer and the Viewer, things like that. Also, we are now starting to connect the back end and the front end team together. The Winter Protocol team together with the front end team to start actually integrating it into Palmyra. So a lot of really exciting stuff going on.
I've seen the work and everything else that's coming together, and I can't wait to actually do a small demo for our community in the next couple of weeks, I'll say. With that being said, let's talk a little bit about tokenomics, our white paper. Sam, do you mind giving us an overview of how things are on that end?
Sure, thanks, Jeff. So we recently had a Twitter space with 01X and the World Mobile team. So Mickey, the CEO of World Mobile, came on, and we had a great space for those that haven't actually had a chance to listen to that. I suggest having a look and sort of listening to that. I'm sure Chef will sort of put the link down below. And then as for the progress with the tokenomics build, we've been spending a lot of time making some iterations. We're getting very, very close on our end, very happy with the way the sort of utility-led sort of tokenomics is looking. So lots of utility for different types of people in the ecosystem, from community, business developers, businesses who are actually transacting on the platform itself. So very exciting in terms of how that's all fitting together. In terms of the tokenomics and I guess what to expect, the Zengate team has been talking quite openly about an IDO. It all fits together here. And there are a few important artifacts and documentation that will be coming out in the next few weeks. So the first is the white paper. We also have a light paper, but the white paper will, go into a bit more detail. It's been a number of months since we actually published the light paper, so there'll be more to read there. And the token economics paper as well. So that'll be coming out sort of together. As for the IDO itself, we're sort of still finalizing some dates, but sort of pushing through ahead on that from the operational and sort of administrative side of things. So things are looking good. But for those that are looking to actually get involved, just want to put out a disclaimer. Firstly, that the key message that the Zengate team has been putting out has been, we're launching a product before the token. So there'll be a little bit of time in between sort of getting involved and when the actual token becomes available and sort of traded in the open market. So just something to keep in mind. And the other key piece as well, I just want to make sure that everyone's on the same page is with the sort of regulation and sort of the scrutiny that certain markets have, there will be a KYC process. So just a heads up that will be taking place, and certain jurisdictions may not be eligible to be able to participate in that particular round. But there will be other opportunities as well.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting actually, because we also got our first voting from our community in terms of how we're going to name our token. We all decided that it's going to be with the ticker PALM, so PALM. And in terms of the IDO, I just wanted to add to what Sam said that, yes, there's going to be a KYC process and everything else, but that doesn't mean that there's not going to be an ISPO, which is something way more open for everybody, for anybody that would like to participate. So it's not like anybody is going to be missing the boat or anything like that. There's going to be a fair distribution to our community, and this is one of the biggest things that we want to make sure that we focus and we're super transparent with it. Now we also want to touch base a little bit about the Project Catalyst proposals that we've submitted. In the last week or so, we've started being a lot more vocal about it. We have 3 proposals that we're submitting. The 2 are already in, and by tomorrow most likely, or by the time this video is going to be out, the 3rd one is going to be submitted as well. So what I would like to do is just give a little bit of an overview about our proposals. We will have more videos and more content coming up in the next weeks as well. That way everybody from the community will know exactly what these proposals are for, but more importantly, what is the problem that we're trying to solve. So with that being said, I would like to pass the mic to Dan and maybe give us a little bit of an overview in terms of the Winter Protocol proposal and in terms of the governance framework proposal that we submitted.
Sure, thanks, Chef. So these are actually 2 proposals that we haven't really spoken about as much as we have about the SPO proposal, which we'll also cover later in this update. However, it is very important to understand that we are structuring these proposals just like actually the way Zengate structures its products in a bit of an ecosystem type of a symbiotic way. So the first proposal that you mentioned, Chef, is actually so basically, and I started speaking about this yesterday, and I'll speak about this a lot more on social media. I get quite a few people when they speak to me, and they've heard about the different things that I've done over the years as far as working in emerging economies and onboarding large scale, doing large scale onboardings like national level. They think that it's like, oh wow, Dan, you must be a magician. Not really. I mean, yeah, you have to know how to talk to people. You have to know how to sell a product. That's that of course is a skill you cannot, just kind of like insert into your brain. However, there is a very quantifiable way to almost a playbook that you can follow, in order to be able to know how to build what's called a minimum viable ecosystem. And so what that means is to basically build an ecosystem in which you can onboard whatever product you have, for example, traceability, which is the Winter Protocol. And so this is what this proposal is about. Since there's almost a playbook, we decided, well, why don't we just make a playbook? Mm-hmm. We'll go into an industry that we have a lot of experience in, which is the tea industry, and especially Sri Lanka tea industry. And we, using a panel of experts that they're going to be working with us, we will create a playbook of how to do large-scale ecosystem building, minimum viable ecosystem building, so that others can do it. other products. I mean, there's many projects out there that would like to have national level, international level adoption. Well, here's a playbook on how to do it. And so we believe that this is going to be very useful and crucial for the community in order for Cardano to expand, to grow, so that we're not only reliant on a couple of entities within the ecosystem to do these big scale adoptions. A lot more projects and a lot more people can do it. I mean, look, Zengate is not a big company. Zengate is actually pretty small. I mean, we're like a dozen people, and we're doing national level onboarding. Why? Because there's a system. Because there's a system that you follow, and that's why this proposal is important. The reason why I say it's very symbiotic with other ones is, okay, so you give us a playbook on how to onboard a jurisdiction or how to onboard an industry. Okay, what are we onboarding? What are we doing with them, right? Well, Winter Protocol is a tool set that you can use in conjunction with this playbook that we're gonna put together to onboard jurisdictions and industries onto tokenization and traceability, and the tokenization and traceability protocol. So essentially, I mean, you figure out what it is that you're going to be doing, right? We're not going to tell you what kind of business to run, but traceability and tokenization is a big deal, right? There's many different use cases for it. Well, here is a tool set. Winter Protocol will be a tool set, a modular tool set that, again, projects can use to create scalable mid to large scale, small, mid, large scale ecosystems that utilize trace and utilize tokenization using NFTs. So this is, again, very important and very relative to what the other proposal is. And of course, Rosenbridge, the SPO proposal, is also very symbiotic with this. And the reason being is that because one of the things that is great about Rosen is that it's not an introverted inside an ecosystem. It is meant to broaden ecosystems and create pathways for assets to move back and forth between the ecosystems, therefore bringing liquidity into the Cardano ecosystem or into the Ergo ecosystem, moving it between ecosystems, utilizing various different components of different ecosystems that have been bridged. And so with the use of Rosenbridge, you can actually pick which ecosystem you'd like to use for which part of the protocol. You can tokenize on one, you can do an Oracle network on another, which is what we're doing. We're doing this, right? So yeah, it's very symbiotic. It's very kind of synergistic, and that's why I'm so excited about it.
Just to sum it up a little bit, we're talking about two proposals. The one is the Winter Protocol that has to do with tracing, using NFTs, something that we haven't seen on the Cardano ecosystem yet. So this is really exciting to see that's coming, or it's being proposed anyway. And at the same time, we have a playbook, a way of how to build a governance framework so we can actually be able to onboard, businesses, large scale businesses, or actually, nations as well. At the same time, you talked a little bit briefly about the Rosenbridge proposal, and this is one of the most exciting ones, in my humble opinion, because being an SPO, this is one of the biggest things. One of the biggest discussions that we have in our ecosystem is, how to support decentralization, how to support all these 3,000 stake pool operators that are running their infrastructure, but only a small portion of them is actually minting blocks. So we've seen in the past year or so, or even longer than that, we have the bear market, we have a lot of, bad news. The price action is not, the greatest out there right now. So there's a lot of people that are closing shop. That's something that obviously, if it keeps going that way, most likely we're going to end up with a way lower number of pools, which essentially, as a proof of stake protocol, it means that the security is lower. And of course, it brings a lot more problems with that. So what we're trying to do is we submitted this proposal that it's called SPO revenue stream. It's a new SPO revenue stream that it's a toolkit actually that we're going to be building hand in hand with the Rosenbridge team and Spectrum Finance. And what that tool will help us do is it will help open up a new stream of income for all the SPOs that would like to participate. And I think this is huge for the ecosystem in general. And in the end of the day, I think this is one of the biggest reasons that Project Catalyst has been created, is to support our community, our ecosystem, and make it stronger. And I really think that this proposal will actually make this a reality. We're gonna see SPOs, stop marketing themselves so bad, because most likely they'll be using, they'll be utilizing and securing different bridges, and they won't need to have a bigger income, or at least they're going to be sustainable. So we'll see the whole philosophy and idea of, SPOs are looking for the projects and SPOs are looking for the delegators, actually, having self-sustainable SPOs that can run their services, they can run their operations, and at the same time, they can secure many different ecosystems at the same time. So I'm really excited about this proposal. We already put together a Google form that we'll be sending out to a lot of stake pool operators and to the community. It will be an open application. Any stake pool operator will be able to sign up for this. So when the time comes, and hopefully the proposal will get voted from the community, we'll be able to start day one right away doing workshops with the SPOs and making sure that all of their needs are going to be met with that tool and with this new way of having another stream of income for them. So I'm really excited about this one. Obviously, I'm excited for the other two proposals that Dan mentioned earlier, but I think all those three together combined will actually have a huge impact in the Cardano ecosystem as a whole. So Sam, Dan, I'm not sure if there's anything else that we would like to cover. Any final thoughts, anything else that you would like to share with our community before we close this community update?
Yeah, sure. So the next few months are going to be really big. A lot of stuff is going to be happening between the catalyst proposals that are going to be a big undertaking on this just by themselves, to our MVP rolling out in the next several months, to onboarding, to flipping the switch and basically bringing the system online to the mass market, right? So it's not just, and don't get me wrong, crypto DeFi protocols are cool, but it's not just another crypto DeFi protocol, right? You're not just basically have a group that already knows exactly what it is, and you're just like, okay, here's another one. So just yield farm there and loans there and stuff like that, right? So it's very exciting, and it's a big undertaking, and this is what we've been talking about, and this is where we prove the concept. So it's very, very important to get this right. We will get it right, but it is still very important to acknowledge that we have to get these parts right. Also with the raises that we're doing, again, we're very, very community, we're community centric and heavily community focused. We've always have been. And this is why we would like to give the community early access into this multi-billion-dollar ecosystem that we're building. This is the reason for the ISPO. This is the reason for the IDO. And well, not in that order. So IDO, then ISPO, and both we will give the community early access into this ecosystem and into being a part of this ecosystem. So yeah, it's very exciting. There's a lot of work to be done. We're ready to do it, and I think by when we do our end of the year update, there's going to be a lot of wins. There's going to be a lot of success stories and a lot of excitement for 2024.
Thanks, Dan. And just a quick one from me. Just very appreciative of all the community support we've been getting. It's been a very, very busy month. Lots of different Twitter spaces, updates. We've had some incredible opportunities on some interviews and podcasts the last month or two. So very thankful for the people that have had us on. But as always, the community for all the support, all the questions that we're getting along the way keeps us accountable, keeps us motivated, and so keeps us moving forward. So as Dan said, lots of things coming up over the next few months. We've made already quite a few strategic announcements around different partnerships and people and businesses we're collaborating with. But that's continued to, there'll be more and more coming up over the next couple months or so. So that's it on my end. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, thanks for all the support.
Thank you both for all your awesome updates. And to all of our viewers and listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll see you next month with the next community update. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.